Okay. Let's get this show on the road. Switch to the right screen. Are we in game yet? We are not. Loading is taking a bit today. Got a decent amount of games that ended up being requested, I think. I think I have 3, maybe 4 that were explicitly requested, and then a couple I wanted to look at. I'm not sure who requested this one, but I think it's irrelevant. Double Chaos, I don't know who wins. We're going to try and find some good things to look at for each side. I like this setup. It is really aggressive. You are going to get potentially 3 hits on your Chaos Warriors. I like the defensive formation, but these Chaos Warriors should be replaced with Beastmen in the line. And meanwhile, no wait, this team is on off. Yeah, this team should be hitting these with the Warriors. That would have made it annoying. Anyways, it did end up replacing the Warriors. Perfect defense. You don't really need to cover this side nearly as hard anymore. I would pressure this side. Like, you could put 2 Chaos Warriors right here. Apply a lot of pressure that way. Like, double Chaos Warrior, Beastman over here to prevent assist, and then you have a lot of pressure on the ball. Minor thing. This is getting good assist. However, when you're trying to just get an assist on a player, it's much better to use a Beastman because they can reposition so much easier. Like if you brought a Beastman over here and did the same hit with a Chaos Warrior, you'd be giving up less blocks. And the main thing about Chaos is when they're first starting out, they're not really a good kill team. And you gotta be careful because here's how you gotta think about blocks. Okay, so wait for that one to go through. Every single turn, each team gets 1 blitz. So if you're not basing anyone, you give up 1 hit to your opponent. Every player you put in contact with another player gives up 1 more potential hit. If you're gonna base, you base hard because then it's harder to get the hits. But the more you base, the more you're gonna lose players. And unless you're already in the lead, you gotta be really careful with that. Because in order for basing to give you more hits, something has to fail for your opponent. They had to fail a dodge, they had to fail a block, they had to fail a pickup, they had to fail something. So, as a blanket policy, you don't want to always be basing. You want to base for a reason. Like now, the defense is going to get a lot of hits here. And when your ball carrier is standing behind someone that is based at the start of your turn, or the start of the opponent's turn, you are in danger. Because right now, there's an easy way to get to this ball. So, this warrior takes a 2-die block here, and follows, comes right here. This warrior now does not have a 2-die block, but can get some sort of block here somehow. Okay, even if it's a 1-die block. Let's say it's just push. So then, they take this hit. Push you there. And follow, not follow. I don't think it matters. I think following is better, though, because it gets you out of the spot. And then we have this Beastman goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ball is blitzed, potentially down, and there's still a lot of other players that can take their action based on the offense. And this could be a turnover right here, especially against players that know what they're doing. So just keep in mind, you want to keep your main defenders of the ball unbased whenever you can. And there'll be nuances the more you learn about the game. Let's see how this pans out. Okay, we are seeing this beastman hit. Do see a follow. That KO is massive. Marking up player near the ball. I don't think that we need to blitz this, but it does set up a surf. That is a strength 4 player stuck on the sideline. I don't hate it. Does mark you. That's another 2 die here. And we have 2 Chaos Warriors trapped on the sideline. If either of these players stand up, they're getting surfed. Over here, take the hits you're given. You can either take a 1 die or you can go for a dodge, or you can stay there and not worry about it. That works too. All 3 of those are good options. It's a potential surf-ish. Not really. If you surf there with the ball carrier hasn't moved, still exposed. Here's simple turn ordering. You need to move the ball before taking your block after you've used the reroll. Plenty of ways to get the ball squirreled away, but really want to move it first. Ball is not safe. This right here moves us out of the way. Blitz around from the back. Ball is free. It's not really a way to make the ball safe now. So this beastman should be hit, and then it should be a blitz on the ball for 2 dice. Push is fine. This beastman coming in right here. We'll see where it goes. Knockdown. I like not following that. Stay free. GFI a little spooky, but works out. Taking some hits. You don't need to do anything right here. You don't stand up this goat, he'll just get surfed. I think I would have rather gone for the pickup with this beastman. Double GFI. It would just get blitzed by this goat. So, taking hits is fine as well. Korn did nothing wrong. Seems to have a bit more experience with the blocking than Chaos Horned Wanderers, which is fine. It's college, first game. Hey, Quack-Quack-a-Mole, how's it going? We got ourselves a rookie Chaos matchup, which the positioning is a little rough, but that's what you expect with new players. Nothing unexpected there. A lot of this positioning is better than my first game. Oh yeah, no block, no ball handling skills, no kill skill, no dirty player. I like getting the ball picked up. I do need to try and defend it somehow. Trying to get this player unbased is good. That's still gonna get hit, but it's better than nothing. Oh yeah, Nurgle is like the worst team for new players, I think. It is so unforgiving to start with, and like you don't get good until at least a season in, or like until you develop some positional on your team, or you get like a couple dirty player rotters, something. And like you need skills to make your team good, but you don't have a way of generating SPP reliably. And that'll happen. That's just the Chaos matchup early on. No Mighty Blow, no block skills. One of you is going to just take random Kaz. One of you is going to take random KO. Whenever you can, getting a surf is great, because surfs are guaranteed injury roll, and they're, you know, it takes a player off the pitch for the drive, which is always good. The only time you don't want to be surfing is when you have to respond to your opponent. Like, if a surf takes too many players and it allows your opponent a free score, you don't take the surf. Unless, there's the exception of their player is so good that you have to remove that player to win the game, even if they score. So there's a lot of nuance. Managed to break through. Okay, 3+ dodges work every now and again. Take them at the end of your turn. I like that. Good turn ordering. First priority here. I think I would be taking this block on the Chaos Warrior to try to free up 2 goats. So let me. Yeah. The dodge was good. I'm not sure about basing, but it might prevent. It prevents this being a direct dodge, so I don't actually hate the positioning either. So 1 second. And I'm going to talk about why I would do what here. So here, I would be looking at trying to get a knockdown, but a push is fine here, right? So we take a 2 die. If this is a push, you've freed up a beastman who can go after the ball. If this is a knockdown, you've freed up 2 beastmen. If you free up 2 beastmen here, what you can do... Let me scroll down a little bit. So if you get a lucky knockdown, so you have two good results for that, you can drop this player back and take a 2-die blitz with your other goat. And you could scatter that to the outside, you can scatter that to the inside. You're probably pushing him out and back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's perfect. And then you have this person to catch anybody that happens to pick up the ball, or let's say, the current ball carrier isn't stunned. There's still 2 sackers for the ball gets picked back up near the end zone again, rather than if you send 1 player. So if we send 1 player, and we mark here, goat doesn't go down, is stuck on the sideline. Blitz and run through. Oh yeah, you do have to do that, don't you? It would be a 2+, but that's still, you're able to have a player back, not get stalled on, and still take the 2+, which is better than just hoping on the 2+ not failing and using your reroll before the sack. But that's a good catch. Good catch. No. Nitpick me well, because I ignore the nitpick, which can confuse newer players for sure. The main thing I'm trying to express is getting the pressure back here. So even if your sack fails, they have to score, giving you 4 turns to score yourself, which is very, very feasible as Baby Chaos against Baby Chaos. Did take the right sack, didn't get the knockdown, gonna push right here. And if you had 1 more player back here, which you can even just dodge this off to get that at the end of the turn. I wouldn't hate dodging this off. And just having him back so you can have another piece threatening. Take a 1 die, get lucky. Nice. I like the dodge. I like the dodge. Even if this doesn't work, I like the dodge. I approve of the reroll. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. It was a good idea, trying to get another threat. Both of them should be trying to hold the midfield, I agree. Because if you're the offense and you hold the midfield, you block off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players if you manage to hold here. And as the defense, if you have a little bit of pressure here, you block off like a similar amount of defenders. Yeah, I agree. Chaos generally want to hold like a strong midline, push up a little bit, and break off. But this game started with the ball right up here and a perfect defense, so that wasn't necessarily the case. Offense did go really base happy early, which would have would have prevented that. No, I completely agree. I try to get into a little bit more of the overall game plan stuff, but it's also really hard when I'm doing college games. I like to cover that more for the minors games. But you're absolutely correct. But this might be one of these players' first game because I think this is the first week of college. One of them obviously seems a little bit more familiar. They have a bit stronger positioning, bit less base happy. Yep, movement 6 isn't that bad. Chaos doesn't have to rush. I agree with Sine Wave here. Scoring here, I don't think you were forced to score. Let's go back and look at this. So we look at this. There's one defender to threaten you. You can come over this way. You could even stand right here, for the most part. Or right here. There's a 4+ dodge with a blitz. There's an argument, they don't have a reroll, just push the ball in. So I actually don't know if I would have... I probably would have scored myself. If there was a reroll, that'd be different. Yeah, repositioning would have been good. Like, this is a little bit of difference, so let's go back and draw. Okay, this is a good call. Let me get in a better position. Okay. So, we're looking at something like, you blitz with this goat. Actually, correction. You move this goat down to block off, like have a little screen, or you screen off this piece by standing here. Then you blitz, push here as you did. Don't follow, and then come stand right here next to him. Squish him against the sideline. Oh, no. No problem at all, no problem at all. It's also text chat, so I give everyone the benefit of the doubt in text chat. Don't worry about that. No issue. But by screening off and applying pressure, you're allowed to bring the ball down here, hold it for an extra turn, and make it harder for the Chaos to score. Because Chaos, 4 turns, pretty reliable. 3 turns, less reliable. 2 turns, still feasible. 1 turn, really, really hard. So just the less time you give your opponent to score, the more likely you go into their half up a point, which makes it, ideally, they score a point on their drive, then you're 1-1. You may be able to get a turnover, make it either 2-0 or 2-1, force them to score early. There's a lot of things that come out of stalling properly, but that might be a little more advanced with college people. We go over that a good bit more in the minors games for sure. Absolutely. And, especially once you have more skills, the 2 turn is much more feasible. Like, even just the block skills, so you can rely on the 2 dice. Yep, that gets into the 2-1 grind, which is a common turn. It just describes the ideal bash game where you force the opponent to score quickly, counter score in the time that you've saved by forcing them to score quickly, and you also score on your drive. So, in theory, every bash game versus agility game that you get to decide the kick, the bash team should win 2-1. But that's, like, super overly simplified. And, like, assumes all dice go the way you want it to, sort of thing. But I do conceptualize Blood Bowl in general as there are 2 types of games. There's a game where you're playing for the 2-1 grind, and then there's the game where you need to break the 2-1 grind in some way to win the game. And it's a lot of the skill is determining when you break the mold to force something to be not a 2-1 grind. Hey, Turbio, how you doing? Glad you can make it. Is this your game? Oh yeah, absolutely. It's very oversimplified, but I think it's a good thought experiment before a match. Not during a match. Don't think of it that way during a match. But before a match, figure out what type of game is best for you and best for your opponent. Oh, nice, nice, nice. I'm assuming you're pretty new. Feel free to ask any questions. We can stop and take a look at any turn more in depth. Does not bother me. And we have a bunch of advice coming from chat. Like, Sine Wave always gives some good insight, and Cesticide here has some great points coming in. If some of it's like a lot of information compared to where you're at, don't worry about it. Just try to get what you can. And see if you can learn stuff from the other games if you end up watching those too. Okay. But you were doing pretty well. You did get a score. It was a little rough at the start, but you managed to break through. Chaos vs. Chaos 1000 TV is very... it's got some dice. It's got so many 1 and 9s. But it actually isn't too bad. Like, you have similar amount of 1 and 9s to humans. It's just their 1 and 9s feel better because it's block and catch and sure hands sort of thing. Oh, no, I feel that my first college game was my first game against a human as well, and I found it very intimidating. So, like, your game's actually looking a good bit better than mine did. Granted, I was against Skaven. So, they had more skills than me. I was really overwhelmed. Or was I against Necro? I can't remember. It was one of those. Yep. What'd you got? Let's hear it. Yep. Yep, early on in Chaos career, you are not a bash team. You are glorified humans. Try whenever you can, and I covered this already, but I'll repeat it, because Incestide's making a great point again, now that you're here, listening. Whenever you base, you give up one more potential hit to your opponent. So instead of getting blitzed and taking one hit, potentially losing one player, every person that your players are in contact with gets another potential hit, and the more of those you give up, the more likely you are to lose players and be down men, because it takes an entire turn of you basing to get any extra hits on your opponent. So always base with purpose. Like, are you tying this player up? Are you trying to prevent them from recovering the ball? Are you playing 11-man versus 5-man now? Did you remove all the enemy team and you're allowed to base? Just make sure you're not just putting players into the tackle zones of enemy players for no reason. Especially on Chaos at 1000 TV when you don't have skills yet. But yeah, that's a very good shout. Very good shout. Sack up the ball. Let's see, we're down 1, and how much are you down? Down 2? Wait, okay. So, Wanderers have freed up the ball again. And this is looking very effective at stopping the score. Right here, it's turn 7. Whenever you see that it's like turn 7, you should be getting a player in scoring range. If you don't have a player in scoring range, you cannot score. So even if it's just get somebody within 2 GFIs of the touchdown. So Chaos Warriors, they need to be right on this line. 7 tiles away, which is 5 plus 2 GFIs. And Beastmen need to be 1 before that, which is 6 tiles plus 2 GFIs. Just have anyone in scoring range is better than nothing. That should be priority number 1 over picking the ball up, over freeing a player. And sometimes you forget to do it, and it feels bad. Yep, okay, so gonna hit here, and that frees up a Beastman. Before taking this block, should be looking for getting the scoring threat up to the 8. For anything else, this needs to be up here. That should be your priority. Okay, that does open up a hit. Good. Needs a scoring threat still. This should move right here. There we go. That's a scoring threat. Good job. Good job. Now, as a counterpoint, if your opponent has 1 scoring threat before their 8th turn, hit the scoring threat above everything else. So this is an easy to stop score. You hit this player. That's it. And even if you get a push, you push him here. You shouldn't be taking this block. You should be hitting this player. This is the only player that can score on you. Basically, everything but double skull stops the score 100% of the time. Basing stops it probably... Like, it's still... Let's see, a 3 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus. That's like a, what, 70%? 60%? 50%? Doesn't matter. The point is, blitzing this player and not getting a 1 in 36 result stops the score. And even here, like, this has a chance to score. Someone has to pick it up and hand it to him, though. Is difficult. I don't like scattering it. I do not like scattering it. I think scattering it makes it less consistent. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pass is the best option. Huh. Oh, going for a foul. Sent off. I don't hate the idea of foul. Oh, especially since you both have bribes, don't you? Oh. Might have to mention bribes. Basically, whenever you have a bribe, get somebody to a 7+ armor roll on the ground and foul them. Especially the stronger piece they are. It's easier to do on offense, harder to do on defense, in my experience. Because when you're on offense, you get to decide where the play happens, because you have the ball. Blitz is a very strong kickoff for the defense. Oh, right here, right here. Defensive setup. This defense has, like, one major flaw with it. Most of it's good. Line of scrimmage is fine. These players are fine. You have players in the center. Maintaining the center is very important for Chaos. But on a quick snap, so on, like, it's like 1 in 6 kickoff events, you get a quick snap. So the offense can move a space with all their players. And if that happens, you could have these Chaos Warriors hit, giving up a free hit, chance to break your players, go down men, and you will definitely lose games from that. If you consider that an acceptable risk, and if it helps win the game, sometimes you have to take control of the second line. But most games, you do not want to be standing here. You want to be standing in the 3rd tile back from the line of scrimmage. In the vast majority of cases, like almost all. Only break that when you know what you're doing. And just about everything I say is going to have the caveat of, when you know what you're doing, sometimes you do something different, but the ground rule is what I'm trying to help develop for the college players. Oh yeah, that's actually a great point as well. Perfect defense will make your offense really, really hard to deal with. Yeah, that's one that's like until it screws you over, until someone warns you about it, it can be hard to know. But yeah, perfect defense while with all your men on the line, it can be really tricky to get out of. But sometimes you have to just say, perfect defense won't happen, I need this to be this way. Like, kickoff events can be really rough and one-sided. Okay, offenses getting some punches. Opens up the middle. Random Kaz happens. Not a perm. Yeah, when's this decide said? Reroll looks fine. And in theory, this should be a 1-1 game, but that's not how dice work. Careful not to overbase your players. Sometimes instead of setting up a hit, it's better to dodge a player off on a 3+. Be aware of that. Do that at the end of the turn. Like here, instead of basing this and turning this into a square, I would have dodged this player off at the end of the turn. And here's a great point to demonstrate easy surfs. You should be taking a surf here. So before this hit, this is a surf. Surfs happen in one way, really. So whenever you hit a player, they go into one of 3 squares. So if you're going diagonal, your opponent can go 2 orthogonal directions and 1 diagonal. When you hit from the side, they can go 2 diagonal, 1 orthogonal, based on where you're hitting them from. And these form 2 shapes that are very important for chain pushes and surfs. So if you look here, this is what we call a T-shape. So that's actually a little hard to see. A T-shape. So you have the 3 tiles they can go in, the player you're hitting, and the player that is blitzing, which forms a T. And then we have what are called boxes. And boxes are the player you're hitting and the 3 tiles they can go into. When all these spaces that a player can go into are filled, you get a chain push and you push one of the people from the squares away. And when you get a chain push on the side of the field, that is a surf. So if we look down here, we have a player on the sideline. If you hit him from the left, all 3 of the squares he can go are off the pitch. He's off for the drive, and he takes an immediate injury roll. Very good. As an example, if you hit him from a different direction, so let's say you hit him from this diagonal, he has 3 tiles he can go to. Only 1 is on the pitch. If you come and you put a player here before taking the block, he will get surfed, take an immediate injury roll, and be out for the drive. And the last orientation is if you were to hit him from below, there's 3 spaces he can go. 1 of them is off the pitch. You fill these 2 spaces, he gets surfed, takes an immediate injury roll, and he's out for the drive. So always value surfs. They are so incredible. It's a guaranteed removal, and they might be out for more of the game than just the drive you're on. And so definitely try to order your blocks in the most deadly or important manner as possible. Like if you can take a hit on the ball, take a hit on the ball if it's immediately necessary for you. Or take reliable hits. Or take ones that are very high chances of casualties. That GFI was just unlucky. I don't hate GFIing to try and pick up the ball. If you get ball in hand, it's a lot of pressure. Standing next to the ball was also acceptable, most likely, though. Another thing, you also had a surf over here last turn. If you push this player to right here. Oh, you hit him into here, I think, didn't you? You already used this player. But especially close to the sidelines, look for those surfs. They're so valuable. And actually... Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Yes, rerolls should be saved for turn-ending actions or scoring. You usually need to save one reroll for your score, because you're inevitably going to have to take either a dodge, a GFI, a 2-die block. Yep, 100% agree. Yep, oh, and you did get a surf. Good job. And I'm hoping to see another surf right here. So you would take a 1-die into a 1-die, or you take a 2-die into a 2-die. Both of those are fine. Yep, Baby Chaos is pretty rough. A lot of times. Instead of hitting this goat here, you could have stuck him against the sideline here, so you also have a Chaos Warrior stuck on the side. Just a little thing to look out for. For the Wanderers. Hey, Mighty Crab, how's it going? Yep. Ball is open, you take a hit on the ball. Ball wasn't able to be too much better protected. A little bit, but not much. And if you get a hit on the ball, you take a hit on the ball. Is kind of how it goes. And oftentimes, it's even worth taking a red die on the ball if you're not going to get another chance at it, or if you cannot improve it. Because getting ball on ground is good, and red dice are deceptively decent. Especially when a both down is okay. If both down is acceptable, red dice are approximately a 3+, slightly better. Like 1 result on 36 better. But it's a 3+, for most intents and purposes. The blitz was for horns. I believe. Let me go back and relook at that. Yeah, the blitz was for horns. That's what it was for. No, wait. Was the blitz with the ball carrier? Or is it just not showing the icon? What happened here? So you come here. Blitz is for the horns, yep. That's just getting another strength as chaos. Even though you're stuck in one place. That's a good use of a blitz. That was a good use of a blitz. I can agree with that. That clears up the ball. It looked funny if you didn't see what happened with the blitz, though. KO is massive, and there is a player difference from all the basing. One of you got luckier than the other, but you both based really aggressively. Basing brings variance. It's usually not in your favor. Unless you have a reason for it. But generally, like full basing, you should only be doing that near the end of drives when it makes it really difficult for your opponent to score. Is my stream elements popping up too much with that? That's weird. Exactly. If you give a lot of hits every game, your team will die. It is a tool, but you want to use it. You want to use it when you're forced to base like that, not because you like to base like that. It's a very scary position to be in. I could have freed up this player differently. Just a minor thing. Instead of running over here and blitzing right here, you blitz this Chaos Warrior from the bottom. Let me demonstrate that. Just go like this, and you've got a nice little box here. 4 players all together. You can push this Chaos Warrior on a push and free up the ball carrier. He'll be right here, and your down player will be over here. Ties up basically everyone. And you'll see the chain pushes easier as you play more. And practice some chain pushes as you play. Chain pushes are basically cheating. Highly recommend. It also makes you look like you know a lot about Blood Bowl when you do chain pushes. Like, if you can do a play by walking the ball in, that's great. But what if you did 2 chain pushes and did the exact same thing? People would be like, wow, what a good Blood Bowl player. Exactly. I did not recognize that was an opposing player. Oops. And that's a decent catch. Hit this player and you run the ball. Getting based up is a thing. This doesn't provide any easier time hitting. You can only be marking one opposing player in order to get an assist. Oh, I forgot the red team was running down this way. I should have known that. I was like, why is he not running the right way? Silly Beastman. Foul with bribe. The only potential sacker. Closer to surf. Good. Another KO. And this should be a secured game. Gonna skim through here. At this point, all of the opposing players are down. Should just be a walk-in. I'm just gonna skim the last little bit. I don't think there's much to do. Like, you can as long as you don't let an egregious error like letting a player walk at the ball happen, you are fine. Yep, basing that player good. Give it a little steppy step. bribe is now gone. Bribes are good, actually. Alright, and that'll be game. You just walk the ball in. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. And that wasn't a bad first college game. Well done, well done. Hopefully you learned something from it, even though it was a win. And MVPs, the best thing about Chaos is there is no bad MVP for most of your team's career. This player is probably block. You can take Mighty Blow. Mighty Blow's greedier. It's less likely to win you a game, but it's more likely to develop your player. I personally go block on the first one. No problem. I enjoy it. I'm glad you got something out of it. Okay, let's see. What was the next match I had on the docket? That's one I picked. I think all of these, but two others are mine. Show the amount of blocks taken? Not not now that I closed it, but I can bring up the game on Rebbl.net. So let's bring up the game on Rebbl.net. Okay. Here we are. Looks like they had the same amount of blocks, and one had way more armor breaks than the other. So that definitely plays a large part of it. But you know what isn't expensive? This hip new meal plan called HelloFresh, which you can use to supplement your diet and give you more time and energy to do the things you love. I actually got my box in. It actually tastes pretty good. It comes with these nice recipe cards. And I do have a code for HelloFresh until Saturday at 2 p.m. if anybody's interested in trying it with a massive discount. But no pressure if you don't want to try it. But if you've ever considered it and you just haven't been willing to cough up the money, I think my code is for $40 off. Let's see, who was the next game? Let's go with moderate-sized marauders versus organic chemistry. Organic chemistry, I like that. So this ends in a 1-0. Get us to our... Let's go to full skills, because dwarves can look the same. This should be another college match. This orc team isn't the quote-unquote meta build. It's got a goblin on it, and 3 black orcs instead of 4. And it's also got a spare player. Normally you see 4 black orcs, 4 blitzers, because those are the best players on the team. No goblins, and 3 linemen, 3 rerolls. Dwarves are dwarves. Our dwarves are dwarves. We're going to watch from the offense. Dwarves are generally favored here, especially because there's 1 less strength 4. The dwarves have, like... Ooh, in the rain. yeah, this is a pretty standard rookie match. Orcs versus dwarves I see a lot of in the in college, I believe. Or at least orcs. You see so many orcs. They're very beginner friendly. Which is not to say that they have a low skill cap, they're just beginner friendly. It's hard to make a devastating mistake based around blocks. Yeah, AV9 versus AV9. Indeed. Yeah, orcs are great. Orcs are great. Yep, that gets right back into turn ordering. Take your safe actions first. Take your blitz first with your block, especially. You're on offense, you could have gotten some easy 2-dies with your blockers, rather than hitting with the black orcs. It almost looked like the orcs thought they were on defense. If you go really kill-heavy orcs, they can even compete with high TV chaos. But you have to, like, really commit on the kill game, like piling on Mighty Blow, Dirty Player. You just have to ignore the ball until you have the advantage. But even then, Chaos just needs to get slightly lucky, and they beat your shit in. Honestly, in the rain, I don't hate it. But I think this is just a matter of, to prevent this, this player needed to be here to block this forward progression, and this player needed to be like right here to block this forward progression. And then this whole back line is safe until you pick up the ball, which is a 75% chance with sure hands. But you do that, and these dwarves are able to be right about here. Why is that like that? What? It's weird. Is that still like that? Yeah, huh. To reload that. 1 second, let me get that booted back up. Silly little drawing tool. There we go. I know what it was. I was trying to move the screen before I clicked off of it. And either WAS or D does something funky. Pressuring the ball when your opponent allows you to get up the field. This is a very sticky situation for the orcs now. Yep. This is a very easy mistake to fix. Change your turn ordering to be the most priority and reliable moves first. Take your free movements. So before you take blocks, you need to discover what you're gonna do. Any player that's unessential, does not have an action later in the turn, you can move them. So get them where they need to go. Like right here, we have 3 players not moved, 6 players not moved. All of these players can be moved and probably should be moved to come and deal with the ball. So you do something like bring this blitzer here, bring this lineman here. This goblin can come stand next to the ball. You can come stand here. You can come like base, essentially. And then you blitz something. Free up the ball, try to pick it up with your blitzer, and try to get it safe. Like, you do what you have to do. Now, sometimes you'll be like, oh, I'm going to bring the ball right here. So what you don't do is you don't move, let's say, these 2 players. So you leave them for when you pick up the ball. And then you secure the ball, put it in the cage, and then you take the rest of your actions. Like, these Black Orc hits, these should wait till the end of the turn. So that is a good call out by Sinewave. Ye order of operations. Free, essential, reliable, and then greed and unnecessary. A 3 or 7-step program, depending on how you organize how I said that. Yeah, this right here, this rotation back to the ball is good. It should have happened earlier in the turn. Meanwhile, dwarves should occupy this ever so slightly, and the rest of the players should come around, which seems to be what it's saying. Exactly. You don't always move everybody. You move the players that don't have a job. If they have a job, you don't move them yet. Is somebody putting in the code for that, or is that just going off way too much? That might just be going off way too much. Let me... Well, I'm not gonna mess with it. It's only gonna be on the stream for a couple more days. I'll just let it have its little mental breakdown. And honestly, a little bit of that could have been prevented with turn ordering, but the dwarves also got really lucky. The dwarves got really lucky. You're in the rain, you couldn't pick up the ball. It's rough. Orcs get a blitz. No, dwarves get a blitz. Need to put these players up here just to block the sides. Especially against dwarves, they're so slow. You don't need these players all the way back here. You want them further up to pressure. No, it was the right play, but also just couldn't pick up the ball twice in the rain, and then the dwarves could. It's a little unlucky. I don't think it was the wrong move by the dwarves at all. Here, this is a good turn order. This is better. This is better. Learn from your mistake during the match. I like this. Yep. It was the results of prior turn misordering. I agree. But this was good. This was good turn ordering. Very good. Very good. I do think I would prefer to see a blitz with block before taking these black orc hits, but going and protecting the ball and then taking hits, very good. You don't need to take these 1-dies. These could be easy 2-dies. You bring the goblin over on something and hit it. Yeah, especially as dwarves, as the slower teams. Like, Khemri's another one. You know, Khemri can get scored on when they make a mistake 4 turns ago. Like, Tomb Guardian gets out of position, then gets knocked down. Yep, gave up a lot of ground, and so what happened here is all these orcs were forced back here because no one was blocking off these sidelines again. So the dwarves had a lot of pressure, and it forced you back. You being the orcs. So now we have 7 players back here instead of advancing down the pitch, and the dwarves are just piling on in. Absolutely, absolutely. And we could get into this could have been slightly helped with a 4th black orc, but I really don't feel like picking on team building decisions is super helpful unless people are asking for it. Because it could either be a deliberate decision, but also it's just too late to change it in a league. I agree. It was a little bit of an overreaction. There should still be 2 players screening off these 5 players. Like, 1 blitzer here, and it stops 3 or 4 of these. For sure. But this is also the first game of college. Overcorrection is very common in first game of college, second game of college. You know, when people get their mentors and they're like, hey, you need to base a little bit less. And then it's their turn 8 and they base 1 elf and just let them walk it into the end zone. Or they don't base the elves at all and let them get in without rolling a die. So, you know, overcorrection happens. It's understandable. Now, something I'm noticing on the dwarves, though. Let themselves get behind the ball. Yeah, it's week 1. It's week 1. So we're bringing in the kitty gloves, really fundamentals, whenever we can. So this is their, like, first round, which is 2 weeks long. So you got to be really careful. Whenever the ball gets behind you while you're on defense, especially as a slow team like dwarves, it can be really hard to catch back up. So if you don't knock the ball down here, you could be in a pickle. So just be aware of that. Usually, if, let's say this red line is where the offense is, you'll want to be trying to hold this and maybe like right here. You can send like one person back behind here to go pressure the ball, but more than that, you're really risking just having players down in the play, essentially. Look at these scrubs, they don't even know how to play Blood Bowl. Yeah, that's right. What do you mean you didn't learn this in elementary school? Don't you know this game is 36 years old? Why aren't you playing as good as I am? Oh, you like Blood Bowl? Name every positional. Which, to be clear, 130. We're not picking on you. Just memeing in general. Not picking on you. It feels like an Animaniacs song. You got gutter runners, Norse berserkers. Yeah, dwarves are really liking their 1 dies, which is a 2+ with block, but you really want to try and get this to be 2 dies. I'm not sure if dwarves know how assist work. So blocks, just going over it real quick. Block is strength versus strength. And if you're even, it's a 1 die. If you have more, it's a 2 die. To get an assist, you have an unmarked player. So you have 7 tackle zones free on an opposing player. And that gives +1 strength to anyone that takes a block on them. So in this case, this dwarf slayer will get a 2 die. It ends when college first starts. We talk about assists basically every week for like a month, 2 months. But usually after 3 or 4, it's most people have the assists figured out, except for ones that are sneaky. Like every now and again, I'll get like a spin game. Like, why wasn't this a 2-die block? And it's because there was a Noblar hiding behind an ogre, which, you know, that happens. That happens. Yeah, Surf is good. Surf is good. And we talked about chain pushes in the first game already. A little bit. I do try to repeat it whenever it's relevant, though, because I know most people don't watch the whole VOD, especially people that submitted a game. They'll be like... they'll skip to their own and watch a little bit, skim it a little bit. Yep. This is like what we said. Dwarves are really behind. They had to make up distance. Orcs can still break away, but it's gonna be a bit difficult. Have to throw a naked 3+ to get by, and I don't know if the orcs can score. They had to develop a scoring threat and get the ball safe. That's 2 really difficult things in the rain. I'm pretty sure 4 GFIs I can, because these are what? Movement 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 GFIs for you. 2 GFIs for you. This is not in scoring range. It needed to be 1 square closer. So you gotta take 1 more square here, and this is scoring range. Which that could have just been a miscount. The blitzers are movement 6. Blitzers are 6. Throwers are 5. And linemen are 5? Question mark? Yeah, linemen are 5. And throwers are linemen with a throw in sure hands. And minus AV. Honestly, orc throwers are a ripoff compared to other throwers. Like, Norse throwers are better than orc throwers. But sure hands is really nice. Especially in the rain. Even with the GFI, that was likely to happen. Norse don't even have throwers. You don't see them very often, that's for sure. Now we're just fishing for damage. Try to blitz your... Oh, wait, no, that's bad. That's sad, that's unlucky. Hopefully don't beat yourself up over that one. But the right play was, it's turn 8, the dwarves are very unlikely to score. Like, they got a blitzer here. That might have been the right play. But you should have done it here. This blitzer stands here, this thrower stands up. You hit here, that's a 2-die block. With block. Yeah. Orcs are agility 2, that's a 4+ dodge. You don't need to dodge with the blork there. You should be hitting with different players. Right idea. And it's in the rain and you're in an edgy 2-piece. But make sure you move forwards and then throw. It makes the throw easier. Substantially. Even better. Sometimes you can hand off to the runner. Not in the rain. You can hand off to the runner and pass from even closer. I don't think in that situation it makes the play easier. To be honest. Alright, we're going to watch from dwarf perspective a little bit. I'm not actually familiar with dwarves. I just know the bare fundamentals. Hopefully, like Sinewave can give some good advice here. For some other people if they got it. But you're basically, you want to pick up the ball and just shove right through the opponent and break off at the end. Get in a cage, walk down the field. Abuse your skills. Double rocks? That's the type of advice we were looking for. Hit the funny POW button. Here, you don't need to drop your players back to cover this ball. You can screen off a little bit. Yeah. Doing homework is overpowered. Looking up what you're doing. Very good. And the dwarves are a point ahead. The dwarves don't actually have to score, nor do they have to score fast. So actually, cage is whatever. That's fine. You don't have to rush to the end zone. That's careless if you leave that there. So this should be surfed. Like, 100%, this should be a surf. Like, lineman comes over, takes the surf. Yep, good job. You solved the riddle. The riddle was who was going to get the surf. A little bit of pressure backwards. I like that. I think he just assumed he was going to get the knockdown on 2 single die blocks, and then did. And that's why you throw 2 die blocks instead of 1 die blocks. I'm not sure the dwarf player understands how to make better blocks. I think they know how to deny assists, but not how to make them, if that makes sense. Like, they know that if they put a player on the player that's got other players on them, it'll get rid of one. I don't think they understand how the strength actually works, though. Which is not a knock, we all start somewhere. I do have a tutorial video on it. I think it's somewhere in the rookie Discord. You can Control F, look for From Russell has link. Should pop up. Or I can repost it if anybody requests it. Yeah. Falling backwards is, this ball just doesn't want to get picked up. Rain has been a thing, for sure. Block is fine, but you want to move these pieces that don't have a job yet. Pieces that don't have a job get to move. So do that before you take your dice rolls. Because a movement cannot fail unless you GFI. If this move is fine, you should have done that first. Yeah, you basically are. You basically are. Yeah, like, and the spot these ended up is good. Should have done it earlier. Is the main thing. And that was a good blitz. And now you try to pick the ball up. You try to pick up the ball right here. And to do that, you had to have already moved your players. Because this could have been... Ooh, we've been so close. Okay, 2-die block. That would have been 2 die into 1 die. Base of the ball. Karma, I got one for you. I played Ogres against Khemri in the rain. Kicked them because I'm like, I'll make the Khemri pick it up in the rain and hope for nice weather when it becomes my turn to go down the pitch. And the ball scattered out of bounds and was handed to a Strength 6 Tomb Guardian, and I couldn't get it down. And they scored on me, and then I couldn't pick up the ball for 8 turns because I was Ogres in the rain. Did I mention I will never play another game of Ogres? They make me very sad. You know, goblins are fun, vampires are fun, flings are great, I love flings. Ogres make me sad. Like, I think... It's not even the ogre part of the ogre team that I don't like. Noblars, not a player. You only have 6 players on the ogre team. Noblars don't exist. They're canceled. Get them out of here. Yep. This is a lot of stuff basing. So, we'll cover dodges real quick. That's a great point. Dodges work by... If you're based... So let's say red's going to make a dodge off of teal. So yellow goes to make a dodge off of teal. And however many tackle zones you dodge into determines how hard the dodge is. So for every tackle zone you dodge into, it gets 1 harder. So for agility 3, it starts as a 3+. If you dodge into a tackle zone of an opponent player, it becomes 4. If you dodge into 2 tackle zones, it becomes a 5+. Dodge into 3 tackle zones, it's a 6+. It does not matter how many players are next to you originally. So you can be next to 5 players. Dodging into this tile is still a 3+ if you're agility 3. But if you... Instead, let's change this. So we get rid of 4 players marking and put a player here, this dodge is now a 4+ instead of 3+. So that's important to keep in mind as you're playing. And what was said in chat? I think I missed it. Well, yeah, but like I don't care about the winning of ogres. I just don't have a good time. If I had a good time and lost, it'd be fine, but Noblars make me sad. And yeah, and also when the Noblars do nothing and then 4 of your 6 players bonehead, it's sad. A lot of 1 dice from the dwarves. I think the dwarves would be in a much better position if they managed to create more 2 dies earlier. I don't even think that he 2-died with him, did he? Yeah, he definitely took a 1 die with the carrier. I do not believe so. One die. It's okay, Sandwave. Here on Rookie Spotlight, we teach you how assist and blocks work. Oh no, I heard dings. What's... Ah, Tom Pocket. Hi, Thomas. How you doing? I see you found my secret hideaway. No, I actually know Tom Pocket in real life. I think I already gave him the spiel about HelloFresh. Obviously. You know, that's very fair. That's very fair. Let's see. Get some hits done. Oh, my headset died. I'm sad. Ooh, two player deaths in the same game. That's rough. And right at the start of the season, Orcs are going to have a little bit of a rough season, but should still be able to get some good games in. Two Black Orcs, 3 Blitzers. Not the best start. Definitely, if you want to keep playing this team, you got to save up your money, get your positionals back. You already have 3 rerolls, so that's not a concern. A little bit of SPP and development. This team will still be serviceable, still fine. Inducements help even out Orcs pretty well. You can buy a troll. Mercenaries help. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much at the start when everybody's playing fresh teams. Shouldn't get too destroyed. Bomber Dribble Snot is fun, yeah. Bribes, Wizards, all the fun stuff. I think this should have been a hit on the ball. Take the 1 die on the ball. Because now we see a rather easy way of freeing the ball. So what happens here, behind this lamppost, is this Blitzer stands up. This Longbeard comes here and hits all 3 of these squares that this Blitzer can be hit into are occupied. If you get a pound, you can just knock this runner free right here and break free. The Longbeard... Oh, yeah, there's the goblin there! I didn't see it in the rain! I didn't see it in the rain. Ignore me. Ignore me. That can't happen. That can't happen. Ignore me. I didn't say nothing. Oh, well played, well played. Well, speaking of sine wave, I can make like little subscriber badges. You're like one of 2 people that subscribe to me. I can, if you get input on what would be cool, I'm glad to hear it. Yep, should have followed. Instead, we're gonna get a 2 dice hit here. Actually can get 3 2 dice attempts at getting the ball down. That's fine. I don't think the blitz was actually good. So what we're looking at here, this player can take a 2 die hit here and knock the ball here. And then that's an easy pickup, run it in there. Oh, Karma, 5 months? Man, I need to get my notification sounds are working today. They keep breaking on me though. I don't know why. That's awesome. Thank you so much. But knock the ball here. It has much better scatters. You can pick up the ball, run it in, equalize the game, go 1-1. So this was just a little bit of just not understanding how the assists work. Because this is 2 assists versus 1 assist. So you have more strength. And then you follow that up, and this blitzer can get a 2 die. This can blitz and get a 2 die. And you have plenty of people to pick up the ball. So this was just a little bit of a miscalculation on what you're trying to do. It could have been focusing so hard on making sure that it's a 2 die block that you don't see what comes after it, which that can be hard. But definitely every time you're hitting the ball, make sure you know where you want the ball to land and look at possible scatters and stuff like that. It also just blocks the path. Like, it's very hard to get to this ball. That's decent. Want to see this right here? Right there is good too. Thomas, I can teach you this game. But I've not gotten anyone I know in real life to enjoy this game. But you can get a key for this for like I think I've seen it for as low as $3 on certain sites. I think I got mine for 5 or 6. Off something like G2A, but I take no responsibility for that. But if you're actually interested, not just me, send me a DM. I'll talk to you about it if you're interested. Let's see. This ball can still be hit. She's not OP, but she's really fun. And also, if she is OP, who cares? Yeah, let's see. That's an assist. That's the blitz. Ooh. That's unfortunate. What am I missing? Why is this not a 2D? Oh, I literally cannot see. I am so blind. Why can't I see this player in the rain? Alright. Karma, are you here? We could go over your clan game. If you want to hop and chat. I do not need a sponsorship from Zucchini Apocalyptics. I can see just fine, thank you. Ugh. Yeah, I'm down for it. I'm down for it. Because your match is the last, like, quote-unquote request that wasn't just me looking for games. I think a little bit of change from the orcs, and they were able to draw this. A little bit of change from the dwarves, and they couldn't have lost this. If they both changed their play, it would have been a completely different game of a higher caliber of play. So it's hard to say. But if one or the other, if only one of them improved, it completely changes the outcome of the game, I believe. Because the dwarves could have gotten into a position they could not lose from, or couldn't draw from, and the orcs could have gotten in a position where they could at least draw. But that seemed like a pretty standard orc-dwarf in the rain result, but it just a little bit of polishing, and by the end of the season, both of these players could be pretty good. They have a decent start. Dwarves, learn some blocks. Orcs, learn some turn ordering. Maybe a little bit of blockage. Both of you learned some chain pushing. Like, I think these are off to a decent start. The orcs probably felt like they just played horribly, but the injuries just really stuck on them. It's a little bit of a team building, but I like to try to not get into that too much. Let's see. Oh, wait, I gotta... Karma, I gotta send you an invite, don't I? I am... Or are you already in the Discord? Am I silly?
I'm in the Discord.
Oh, you're already here.
Yeah, I was just keeping my mouth shut because we were still talking.
No, okay, you're good. I just the streamer mode gets rid of the sound.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Yes. One second, responding to DM real quick. And I should be streaming my whole screen, so you'll see me like alt tab and stuff, but you should be able to see the markings. And my brother sent me this. No, it's like I'm not showing anything secret or personal. It's no worries. Like, you know, my leaked nudes are just between me, you, and everyone else in the world.
Same way, devastating that you're saying that.
It's okay, it's okay. They say that every time I raid somebody. Like, wow, I just got back and the stream quality went up a lot. Where is...
He just means me talking. It's so bad now.
Ooh, Karma's kind of quiet. Let me adjust that. Okay. Let's see. If you could speak for me a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're watching the game I played.
Oh wait, it's not coming through. Ooh no, did my plugin break?
Oh no, the plugin broke.
Yeah.
Oh no, how could this happen? How could this happen to me?
Let me see here.
I really hope no one could hear that.
Ooh,
Stand up with me.
this is
That's
annoying.
disgusting.
That's not working. Let me see. Just a moment while I attempt to fix this. Yeah, I think my plugin broke. But that one's working. Did Discord break? Did Discord break my plugin? Might have been Discord.
I really hope it did.
Okay, let's see.
I really hope I could help you, but since
Oh,
I'm...
there we go. That should fix it. I just had to redo it.
So I think I'm using a different version of OBS than you do.
And
At
talk
least,
just a
at
little
least
bit
it
more
looks
for
like
me.
it.
I think
At least it looks like it, but I'm using a different version of OBS than you do.
I think
from
my
what
mic
I
is
see
picking
here.
up my Discord because my headset died. So let me turn you down on my end, and that should fix that. I hope.
Yeah, well, at least I can see that we get the audio off
Yeah,
in
there we go.
OBS,
There we
but
go.
I don't know if it gets covered over to the stream.
There we go. That should do us. If it starts echoing, chat will let me know, I'm sure. Thank you for pointing that out, Sinewave.
I was so confident going into this game, saying like, hey, yeah, well, I really thought I could just counter score every time they score.
I think there were a couple key mistakes you made, but overall, like, what was your game plan going into this match? Because I think that's very important in clan, especially, is having a game plan, especially around this TV. So
my main game plan was playing safely defensively and seeking chances to get either onto the ball or onto important players.
So how are you going to deal with the natty? It's mainly what I'm trying to get at. Were you going to score more by brute force? Were you going to target the natty? What was your plan?
Well, my first idea was when I get the chance to get onto the natty with my mighty blow, I do just that, right? But when I don't get the chance to get anywhere onto the natty, I'll try to stall the game by ignoring the natty when he doesn't attempt to one turn, and instead try to get on any other player on the field.
Yep, and that makes sense.
And I know that is won't ever stop the natty, but I didn't see any other way to play around this guy.
Yeah, because the main thing is here, there's basically two players you got to worry about for most intents purposes. The natty and the killer. The mighty blow, like, even ignoring Claw doesn't do much except against your blitzers. Mighty blow piling on tackle, you need to get rid of this piece. It's the only tackle on the team, and it counters, like, a good chunk of your players. And you're also, like, an AV7 team, so just the mighty blow tackle would be enough for you to have to target this player. So, I think your list of priorities should be the natty. If it's ever available, you take that hit. Followed by... Oh, here's one of the big things I saw right here. But you hit the natty. Then I think it's you hit the killer. Then it's anything squishy. So either something without block, or one of the gutter runners. The line rats, removing line rats opens up the other positional, so that's always a good hit. And at the very bottom of that list is the other storm vermin, because who cares about block?
This storm vermin isn't developed at all, so he wasn't on my priority list.
Yeah. So
he's just another piece on the field, and I probably without mighty blow won't break this armor 8.
I agree. I think right here you made a very avoidable mistake in your haste with the perfect defense. You base the killer on the line of scrimmage when you don't have to.
My line of thinking here was that I didn't want the killer or the guard to get into my more important players in the back. Because
and
if I don't go,
you can stop that with
any
a
of the
screen,
line
though.
fodder on there,
you can put a screen down in front of him and stop that as well. You don't want to just give the hit for free. Because if you give the hit here, what happens is if he takes the hit on the line of scrimmage, he gets to pile on for free. He's got plenty of players to stop you from fouling his player. If he wants to come on here and pile on, he comes here, piles on, and you get an 8-man foul.
the thing is, he doesn't really need to pile on against some of my players. He can, but he doesn't necessarily need to.
That's true, but he isn't allowed to pile on here, which piling on is probably the most dangerous part of his player. In combination with the mighty blow of the tackle.
Yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
And also, he's forced to... He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He gets back into the line of scrimmage, but he can't hide behind it without a GFI. Also, I think that you should have splayed your players out maybe a little more with the ball location, but it's also really far back. You probably wouldn't be able to contest it anyways. So that's
Yeah,
fine. That doesn't matter.
that's also probably because my experience playing pro offs isn't that high. So I pretty much got to what I'm comfortable with what Morty Ferris taught me.
I'm going to
that's-
be very
Yeah, be
very
ruthless.
gentle with my words here. Have you checked Mort's record with Pro Elves?
No.
I think you should use that to determine which advice of his you should take. Because he's got some great advice when playing Pro Elves, and he's got some other advice when playing Pro Elves. Hey, Glava, I'm glad you make it. But, he understands some of it very well. Other parts of Pro Elves, I don't think he does in a way I would play them, and I don't think he would do in a way another Pro Elf coach would play them. But I also think that against Skaven, you really should have been kicking forwards with their natty. Because let's say the ball lands right here, they have to come and cover this, they have to bring positionals forwards. They don't get to just hide with the natty in the back.
So so either go with shorter kicks against a team like this, so that they have to expose important players, instead of giving them the chance to keep their important players in the backfield and not getting any hits.
Because if the ball landed forwards, worst case scenario, the ball scatters out and they hold it in the back anyways. Best case scenario, it lands right here on the 12. They're forced to position players and get in range of you to hit them with your Mighty Blow or get your blitzers on, stuff like that.
Okay.
And I don't like immediately going into columns. You don't need to go in columns. Like, honestly, best case scenario, the gutter runner runs past you. You want that to happen, because then you can pressure him and force him to score. Like, this is okay if you're just trying to protect your players, but this doesn't really stop the Skaven. They don't care. It also doesn't apply much pressure to them, is the thing. This was good for you, not getting killed immediately.
Again.
Your line of scrimmage was rough. That was 3 breaks.
Not that I didn't think that would happen, to be fair. I mean, AV7 on the line is bound to break
It was an
sooner or later.
especially bad line of scrimmage, though. Like, it was very bad. I liked this hit. I also would have liked hitting the other rat with Mighty Blow onto the already in position to take a follow-up hit lineman here.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
It didn't really matter, though. But right here, just making more columns, I'm not huge on this. It doesn't block the entire line, the entire sidelines.
What I immediately hated here with this turn was that I gave away a hit on my agility up piece, and I realized that as soon as I clicked enter and I saw the mistake I made, I was like, oh damn! I was very
due to
very
Rebbl
happy.
rules, I did a lot of like, oh no, he doesn't see it, like the entire time in chat. But then both me and Shaggeroff thought the same thing on this following play, which is this Storm Vermin is kind of exposed, and this kind of blocked it off, but you could blitz this off still. And then this Storm Vermin comes here, and that's a massive mistake. This should be a game-changing play right here. Because right here, you should come, get an assist right here, and then take your Mighty Blow, hit this rat, put this gutter runner, not this gutter runner, the Storm Vermin right here, bring all your players over, and foul it to death. You do that, you get rid of them, the only Mighty Blow piece, the only tackle piece, and the most dangerous player on the team, all in one. Even if it's a stun, if this Storm Vermin is stunned for a turn, you get another chance to foul it. If you get 2 people sent off to get this rat off the field, it is worth it. Like, this would have been the best use of your bench this game, in my opinion. I would have never let my opponent get away with this. Because then what are they going to do to protect their gutter runners? They're going to have to run them away or score quickly. Even if my opponent scores with a natty right here, that's amazing. You forced him to score in 4 turns. And then your players aren't getting hit. You get line of scrimmage hits earlier. You get more chance of getting these casualties. And you also accidentally trap your player with trying to free up your agility piece.
Yeah. I was lucky there that the dodges worked out after.
Because I know you said...
No one should rely on that.
Yeah. Because you've admitted yourself, you have a bias against fouls because you don't feel like they work well for you. And I assure you, you get a 4+ foul on this rat this turn, this game is different. Even if it's just an armor break. Armor breaks opens up another foul. It opens another turn you're not getting hit by claw palm. It's very good.
I just don't feel like fouling ever reaped me any benefits. So I tend to avoid fouling even if it is obviously better, right? And that's something I have to get over.
I agree,
guess
because I think just almost objectively, the foul was correct there. And if not there, here. Should be looking at this and saying they're putting the rat back on the ground. You can get a 3-assist foul that makes it a AV5. That's basically hitting a Noblar.
Yeah, but you know why I didn't do it here? Because I got the advice from you to do it, and then it felt like, yeah, I do this because I was told to, and that's not in the. That's not the sportsmanship way to do it. I felt like that's not the sportsmanship way to do it. So that's why
I didn't tell you to
avoided
take the foul. I waited
Yeah,
until
sure.
after the turn to tell you what I would have done that turn. Because
Yeah.
mine was that frees up 2 of your players and gets the storm vermin exposed.
Shagoros was the same. You were never telling me what to do while the turn was going, and giving me alternative ways to play, right?
Yeah, and I've not said anything in your chat watching you play that I wouldn't say in another chat.
Oh no. That's not what I meant to say with this. Just to me it when I listen to advice from chat, it feels like I'm not playing with my own skills anymore, even if it's surely better sometimes to listen to chat.
And this one was a lot more of a decision making though, because in order to take this foul, you can get 3 assists or 2 assists and a foul. That's not nearly as good as the 6 assists you could have gotten that Shaggeroff and I were pointing out after the play.
Yeah, totally.
This one was much more of a judgment call. Especially when you've already got 3 KOs and a Kaz at that point.
But one of the KOs never came back. Stupid idiot.
And the rats had the thing.
Yeah, they had a bait. They were 50k down.
There was also, in general, I think, in the later drives, I felt like you could have been more aggressive after the ball and leave the Rackler back as your safety. Because you were doing a good job at knowing where the natty could go. But you tried to deal with it in ways different than I would have, which I'm not saying is wrong. It's just I conceptualized it different. But there are also things you did that I wouldn't have thought, for sure. And also, your casualties coming up soon get crazy good. And your Mighty Blow piece kept you in the game for a good while.
Yeah.
And also, make sure you take my criticism. I don't intend for my criticism to be like, oh, you really misplayed this whole game. No. You had a 44% chance to tie up this game. You accidentally slipped that to like a 33 and didn't tie the game.
Yeah.
Which, that was just like on the last turn that you managed to get
to be
set
fair,
up.
yeah. To be fair, he might just have gone with the natty and scored the one turn either way.
Oh, yeah. Which I'm not saying he wouldn't. Like, that was always a possibility.
So,
But he was also down to one gutter runner, so it was much less consistent. Like, you got a better result than I could have with my team. Like, this team was basically almost always a win. If we got lucky with a matchup, it was a tie. So, like, don't think that, like, the round result is never on one person sort of thing, Like, the Orc matchup was expected to be a win. It wasn't. Made the rest of the round harder for us. But, you can't help when it goes 1-0.
Yeah.
Shagoroth almost got a good win as Goblins to make up for it. Got a draw instead, which, great result. Happy with that.
yeah, well, that was awesome.
General got a win because we didn't let the Kislev have a wizard. So that's the expected result as a win there, and he absolutely crushed it. And now we're relying on vampires to get a win so we can draw. That's just clans, Like, we had an upset on the Nurgle, they had an upset on our Orcs, and we had an expected result on another, and this was an expected win for the Rats. Like, no matter who they win against, nobody could really stop this.
Just, they could have been this one lucky turn where they exposed their natty
Absolutely.
with something they do.
Absolutely.
But that's still nothing that you should hope for happening. And here was like, hey, I can't get onto the ball, and if I get players in front of the ball here, I just risk more injuries.
Yeah, you get a
for
free
my own
plop on
players.
it on a player you don't want it on.
So I just get away my players that I still have left on the field.
Yeah, this is fine.
And say, okay, get the score now. Do something else.
But like when I was watching, I didn't see a bad coach making bad plays. I saw a solid coach new to Pro Elves. That's what I saw.
Yeah, that's basically it. But I'm, yeah, well.
And you were also playing against a natty rat and a claw palm rat. Like, the two scariest things.
It was just like, hey,
And also, like,
okay,
a rip ball gutter runner. It's also pretty nasty.
I never really felt that the Russell's triple natty was an issue most of the time.
Except for the one turn it was.
Yeah, but that's always with those kind of players, right?
I do think here, you had a chance at a one-turn attempt with an agility 5-piece. I think that lack of understanding how to do the one-turn here was not very good. But also, it's 8 people minimum, 9 people so somebody can pick up the ball. So you had the exact minimum. So even then, if you went for it, it wasn't super likely to occur. If your other KO came back, though, it was a guaranteed you have enough people to attempt it.
I mean, I had to first do the blitz into my blitzer to get him one square forward.
Actually, I think the 9 is only with what is it? The 9 is only when all the players are pushed together. So I'm not even sure if you can get there without other skills on your catcher. At least sprint, I think. Like this. But I'm not super good with one-turners. So I just like backseat one turn so you can ignore me on that. The Appo was really strange here, I thought.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think that player made much of a difference. It was a 50% chance of getting the player back, which, And they've got other very important pieces, and this does come back and bite them. Don't end up killing the natty. You do end up killing one of the other gutters, I believe.
No, not I killed it. Well, he did it himself.
Oh, yeah, it tripped him out. I wasn't even there. I agree, Guala. I don't think that was a good app. I don't think there's a world where that's a decent app, but that was a rookie line rat with what? Did it even have SPP? Did it have 2 SPP maybe?
No, it didn't have anything. It was just...
Yeah, it had 2 SPP. He saved 2 SPP.
Even with 2 SPP, you don't. You never use
that's
your
an
apothecary
MMG on 2 SPP. Like, I don't think that's a very good trade. And here you got to be picking up with the thrower. And I do think forcing the rats to 2 turn instead of 1 turn is good. Giving them a couple extra turns than 2 isn't much different than giving them 2 turns because they have a natty. Here, here's your chance to hit the natty. You either take this or you don't, I think. But I don't think that you are forced to take this hit. I don't think 2 die on blodge is the most reliable way of dealing with it.
For me, over the course of the game, surely the killer was the piece that was...
I did like this hit.
Removing my players, but what made this all possible was always the guard piece. So that's why I thought, try to get rid of this guard piece while I have the chance right here.
It's also less dangerous to hit.
Take the hit.
You could have done slight variation, have the assist here, hit up into the T-shape, so you always are free on a push.
Yeah, okay, well... Do I gain anything from pushing something out of there?
You don't have to take a 2+ to get your catcher free.
No, I didn't have to.
Because you got a knockdown. But if it was just a push, you had a... You had your lineman based, if it was just a push.
Then the lineman was based, yeah, okay.
I picked up the agility 5. That's fine. And this is where... I don't think you found this. I think you hit this gutter runner, though. I think this gutter runner is now free to hit. Like, I would have hit this. Because the natty is how you lose this game now. You kind of had to assume the ball is going to be free.
Yeah, but I also lose this game when I don't score here. And I see the chance of getting a hit on the gutter runner.
Yeah, my main thing is you can hit the gutter runner and set up behind the gutter runner instead of behind. But like this ends up being really good. Like this is a better position. Mostly.
But without the GFI would have been even better. Because the GFI in the end made the hit with the assistance of the natty much easier.
I agree.
And that's a mistake I made. So even if he needed the GFI here, he can get the natty on 2, which he does, and then
it is also very hard. I think that this was a mistake by them. They shouldn't have moved the natty yet. They should have just taken the 1 die. Picked it up with the natty. Like natty could have picked this ball up easily.
See, sine wave, I've gone for both of it at the same time. I lost the game and didn't win the heart of the people. That was awesome. That was me.
Here's the rat. Rat dies.
Here's the dead rat.
I think you overthought this
That's
turn.
the wrong rat.
I think you overthought this turn. Because this splits is good. That's exactly what I would have done. And then this player should have stood right on the 2 remaining gutter runners.
Yeah.
Take 1 extra square. Stand him on the gutter runners, and that gets rid of the dodges. Standing the blitzer up is fine then. Or instead of running this player up to come and pick up the ball,
No, it
go
didn't.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
At the GFI?
Maybe a GFI?
Oh no, it's a
five
GFI to get
coverage.
on 5.
Yeah, you're
Because
right.
he has only movement
So
3
yeah, you
because he had a
stand that up
stand up.
and you just put the tackle here. And then you did the ball thing.
Yeah, just when I follow up with a tackle, like you said, get the 1 square more. Right, so you have the tackle on both of the gutter runners. And here I freed up the thrower.
Here you messed up your pass as well. You made this a 3+ instead of a 2+. So if you were in this square, this would have been a 2+, I believe. Or
Isn't it 2 squares either way?
it's I'm pretty sure right here is just close enough for it to be a 2+. Because this was a 3+ pass.
Yeah, that was, yeah, sure.
And I think you should have touched down right here, because this is close enough for your players to respond. Whereas over here, only the natty can reach this. So if you tripped wired right here, natty gets the ball.
Yeah, but
Whereas
my
if
fear
you're
was...
you're closer to your own catchers.
Yeah, but my fear was then the netty gets the chance to pick up the ball and after that get the squares necessary to even throw a pass, send it off to anything else, and be up and away again. That's why I thought it was the better idea to be further away from any other player that the netty could give the ball to.
Well, let's run through some thoughts here. Let's draw it out. Let's draw it out. Because this one's hard to see, like, in-game, right? So where do we end up touching down? So we end up touching down straight diagonal?
I think yes,
So, like, right here?
either straight diagonal or on the O somewhere on there.
Let's just assume we can have the ball either, like, right here, or right here. The one on the left, like, in this, like, sort of range, this is definitely wrong. This might be right, and this might be right, or it might be over a square, but a little bit of minutia doesn't count, doesn't matter. Our players can get to right about here. Can maybe GFI to there, like, especially with this catcher can get over here, and maybe deal with it. But this sideline is basically safe for the gutter runner if it picks up the ball. So kind of counting some squares. This can move 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's wrong. We already knew that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say it picks up the ball. Then it can run back down this way. Pass the ball and end up like right here, hard for your players to reach. We already know this. This is what you're worried about.
Yes.
Whereas if it runs all the way over here and picks up the ball, it can get on the sideline away from your player's maximum range, I believe. Unless 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this catcher can barely reach. So this catcher will be
only
blitzed.
with dodges.
This catcher will be blitzed. If this is not armor broken, it can deal with it. It's probably doesn't matter which way. Both of them are bad. So that's really just a judgment call. I think that's a lot closer than I thought it was.
But the thing, now that you point it out, the difference is so marginal, I guess, that both of those options are equal in what can happen after.
I think
If I
that
fail
if
the
you
GFI.
tripwired here, you're kind of boned either way.
I mean, what also can happen, what we didn't even touch here, is that it could have been a touchback. Ball scatters out and lands
Yeah, if it
somewhere in my
scatters out,
half
then
again
it's
or
like,
something.
it definitely favors
Then-
the gutter runners no matter what. I believe.
Just throw the hands up and pray. Pray that it lands on one of my players, not on his.
Bounces can go anywhere, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think this is fine. I think I would have put your Rackler in the back just to cover the possibility of a failed one-turn attempt. Just movement 6 needs to be in the dead center in order to cover the entirety of the pitch, being the main thinking.
And here I thought, oh hey, I'm lucky he doesn't get anything back to get the ball. Then he moved the gutter on his back and was like, damn it. He just wanted to get the ball away from the netty as far as possible and hope for
I think when you see this kick location, you did another thing I wasn't huge on. You gave 3 2-die hits here. I think you should have given less hits and positioned very aggressively on the right. Like maybe at least this blitzer can be closer, like on the line of scrimmage instead.
Yeah, to just basically apply more pressure than what I did here.
Yeah. And also just giving the free blocks when you're AV7 already down. You get the perfect defense, just make less blocks. He's always going to blitz with this, we already know that. But give it less blocks. Didn't end up mattering, but some games that's like one less.
That was just luck that it didn't matter here.
Yes.
Right, that was just luck on my part that he didn't kill anything again or injure anything again. So that's nothing to build up a defense around. Say, yeah, I hope he doesn't break anything.
Here, that's really good for you. Here is like you did some range checking here. That's really good.
Thing is, I think I might have been able to push more aggressively.
Brought the Rackler up like a few squares to where you're threatening, and also be able to cover that maximum range you were worried about, which I think you end up doing. Or I can't remember if you leave the Rackler back or if you bring him forwards.
I bring him forwards right behind this one.
Yeah, okay.
I think.
I like this. I like this.
I was debating if I do it or not. If I keep the Rackler in the back and push instead the, just say the agility 5 up to be able to pick up the ball when I get the chance. And here I exposed the Mighty Blow, which I wasn't happy about, but I had to expose something. And I felt like blitzing with block here because I didn't have any. I only had one reroll left.
You
so
also
I felt
don't have enough players to keep
better.
things safe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I had to expose something.
And here, pressuring the ball is very good. Comes into a cage. You could have almost gotten into this. You could have made this. You could have made this a 2-die, but you just barely didn't see it.
I was thinking I could have put the agility up around, right? Or dodge it, or dodge something out.
Dodge this here and put it on the other side to cancel this assist. Blitzer right here, stand this up. 2-die. 2-die. So 2-die. 2-die.
Okay.
The key part was this player was in the way.
Yeah, and I was too focused on blitzing from the left with the lineman that I didn't even think about blitzing.
You didn't
with
think
the
about the cage is base. I have a chance to break it.
Oh no, that's what I was thinking about that. But I didn't
you just
think
stood up
that
both
I
of
could
these
use
players a
anyone
little
else.
too quickly to see this part. Because the guard makes it so you need to assist to get a 2-die. You don't have block. You don't have wrestle on this player. You could have taken the blitz and gotten the chain push and base with the wrestle would have been okay. But this is a hard part anyways. And the fact that you didn't get a push on the 1-die really sealed the deal. Whereas even if you got a push here, you could have brought either the agi or attempted something. But POW, realistically what you needed. But this was a hard spot. This was a hard one to see in my opinion. Because you gotta map out everything, including not standing up either of these players before figuring out any of your other positioning. And then the reroll failed, and that was really sad.
Yeah, well, realistically speaking, this whole play there relied on getting either the defender stumbles or the power. Right? Even a push would have made the play possible, but not easy in any way, shape, or form. Right?
That is, unless you move this player. If you move this player, you have a pathway into the box after getting a push. But besides that, I agree. Then here you have a chance at hitting something, and you based, which was good. I think the rest of the drive was fine. Skip ahead just a little bit.
Except for the last.
Like I thought all this positioning was good. I liked everything here, and then you marked right here instead of taking a GFI, which would have been the same. I liked this. And then
the GFI felt risky
this
because
positioning
of the lack of
forced to score. There's not enough rats to defend the natty safely. It's all positioned pretty spookily. This didn't even get armor broken. I think this should have been a pylon. I think they score here, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Oh, wait, no,
I was
that's the
happy
one
that they
pylon.
scored.
And it does pylon.
Yeah.
We go into last drive. This was really close to being perfect. Like, I had no complaints with this first set of actions, I don't think. As weather is fine.
I was thinking of not moving this one up here, but instead using him as an extra scoring threat.
I think the thrower should have probably picked up the ball. I think I'm wrong, actually. Catcher can throw an extra 3 tiles, so ignore me. I thought this was fine. I do think that they went for a play I wasn't ready for. Because I thought the right play was... For the Skaven, I thought the right play was dodge this out on a 3+ with a reroll, and have the natty be an assist, tackle it down. I think they ended up dodging the strip ball through.
No, they assist on a block here, or they do a 1-die because I dodge away my players on the LOS here.
Yeah, but I thought the right play was this Rackler, like, up here to cover the Storm Vermin, but that ended up not being the route they went anyways, and they went, like, what, down and up here?
I know they go through the middle, but they remove the blitz, the piece I blitzed with.
Yeah, regardless,
the
point is they had options that made it irrelevant, but fortunately you had this lineman's a scoring threat. This lineman's not. This lineman's not. You had 2 scoring threats, basically.
I should have GFI'd the regular here. I think.
I agree, and then you would have had 3 scoring threats.
Yes. And if I GFI'd the Reckle, I might have taken the GFI later on too, which I didn't.
I like the sidestep direction. I like that. And basically this comes down, you blitz with the blitzer instead of the double GFI with the Rackler.
Yes.
Double GFI with the Rackler was like a 15% better to get the ball down, pick it up, and score. Which that's just like a calculator. Like when you have 2 paths and you need to pick one, sometimes you just gotta break out Samba on that.
Yeah, and the thing is, here I should have just taken all the dodges I could take to not give him any more blocks.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Right, that's something, but I was thinking, well, doesn't matter anymore. Preserving the players that were there might have been better.
Yeah, but I think your team didn't really lose much. Consider using a
No, no.
power on it if need be. Don't think we will, but
Oh no, we don't need to.
it's better to
just-
use them than not. Like, we usually struggle to use all of our powers in a season.
Yeah, but we might use it on the what is it? The Blitzer that is MNG if need be, but we can still
Yeah,
do
I
this after the
doubt
draft.
it.
No,
We'll think about it. We'll think about it.
yeah, I think that's something to talk about later in the Discord
Yeah, let me...
than anywhere else.
Had more games picked out. I think I got all the ones that were requested. I ended up getting like 3 extra games right at the last moment because I had 1 requested, so I had others picked out. Getting tired of talking the whole time though. Signwave,
Oh, I
are
can
you
stay
still
in
in
if
the
you
chat?
like.
Do you want to do your friendly? If Signwave's here, I'll do a friendly and then get off. Otherwise, I'll probably look at one more game and get off. Cause I like to get some backup games. But oh, okay. We'll get it another time. Send me some DMs if there's like some day you want to do it. Otherwise, we'll just do what's kind of convenient for both of us. We'll get around to it though. Hopefully the incident isn't too big. Reach out if there's anything I can do to help. And I'm gonna look at one more game. Karma, you're always welcome to stay in the chat and look at the other game with me, or you can get off. Either way, it doesn't bother me.
I can stay here. Don't know what teams we're looking at now, but
I
hey,
think
always speak
I really wanted to look at Boykuz's match of Paranoid Pups versus 50 Shades of Dane. So this should be Necro versus Norse. That ended up in a 0-0, which I think is very silly that it ended up 0-0.
right.
If you haven't seen this game, it is wild.
I really hate Necro.
I hate going against Necro. I love watching them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
It's just they have so many things in their toolbox. I'm always intimidated. I don't even think like they're like the best team. I just think they're solid with good coaches, and good coaches terrify me already.
Oh, we see the star player.
Yeah.
The star
okay.
player werewolf.
Well,
Janie.
Take
Oh, love
a
it.
look at some players real quick. We got 2 extra Norsemen, 2 extra zombies, one with a dirty player, another dirty player, 2 ghouls, Mighty Blow Wolf. Decent development on the Necro team. Like, very solid. All the pieces have what they need to be in a solid position. Has a Cheney.
One ghoul
Has a
one
wizard.
ghoul hasn't any levels. Right?
I'm sorry?
One ghoul hasn't any levels, and the other
Oh, yeah,
one
but it's still got
couldn't see on the side. Couldn't see it on the sideline. Did he have anything?
No.
Or was he not on the sideline?
He's right here on the pitch.
Oh no, in the back, just through hands. Okay.
But we got a Sure Hands Ghoul, so the Wolves are both free to do their thing. And the Norse are very violent, very developed.
But yeah, wasn't Poikuzi also winner of the last college?
Minors.
Or
Last
runner-up?
minors. It
Just
might not have been
minors.
last season, might have been the season before, but Poikuz has very, very good Norse team. Like,
Yeah.
went into Challengers Cup decently, won the first round, I think got knocked out in the second of Challengers Cup last
Oh
season.
right, he got into Challengers Cup because he won minus.
I had to
That
go against
was the thing that
Steers,
happened.
Strength 6 and Strength 5 Sorai, and almost
Yeah,
Natty
yeah.
Skink. And then I had to
Ugh.
face the now actually a Natty Skink the game after. So got knocked out by a very good team. But
Costing pieces.
Poiku's made decisions that I wanted to take a look at, and then I think the Necro also did. Right away, we're off to a great start.
An awesome blitz.
Yep. And right away, Poikuz does what Norse does, goes straight to violence, which is correct.
Oh yeah, that's normal.
And I can't remember what he blitzes with, because I don't think there's many bad options to blitz with here. Where is the other ghoul? The ghoul got put on the bench, okay. Yeti blitzes.
Oh, the Yeti.
I think one Yeti blitz is a fantastic start. Going on to a wolf. But this is pow fishing. I think if you're going to blitz with the Yeti, you might as well hit the flesh golem, which is AV9. If you wanted to hit the wolf on Frenzy, I think you go with the Palmer, with tackle.
Yeah, the thing is, if you use that, you might not get the 2-die, the second hit, and so I think it's fine to do it like this.
Yeah, but that's just kind of how I would rather the more consistent removal. Or you just hit the flesh golem instead. You still get the Yeti in a good position. You get stand firm on something, and you also hit an AV9. Ball gets picked up.
Yeah. For me, what I would have liked to do is hit the dirty player and pressure the ball even more. But I think it's the movement that he is missing there, so that's why he couldn't get onto the ball right away.
I agree.
And got to the other side, which is totally fine. Totally understandable.
Also, though, Norse don't want to go after the ball immediately. They need to make a player advantage first. Whether that's through fouling or just hitting things. I think the the target selection was a little wonky, was the main thing I was looking at. Like, this is fine. But I think that the 2 Palm Berserkers, and they weren't being used. And I think Palm generally has higher odds of connecting than a Claw Mighty Blow. Unless you're doing 3-die Claw Mighty Blow. I liked this. I liked this.
Why was the first hit a 1-die too? Or wasn't it?
That's because it opens up this werewolf to be blitzed on 2 dice with a Palmer.
Oh, no. I mean, why was the first hit it's Cheney, okay, forget it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I get your question now. You were wondering, why was the werewolf so strong?
Yeah, right. And I thought it was Cheney.
3 werewolf necro. It's easy to forget. It's also, when you're watching the game back, it goes a lot faster than it was played.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff got double-checked for a good bit before happening.
Oh, the niggle doesn't work.
Yep. Didn't even break armor.
Sad.
That was a rough hit,
one
but I think that's part of exposing your blitzer. I did not like this apothecary. It's already MNG. It's only a 50% chance to get back. Unless you're thinking, I really need him next week or I'm screwed. But even then, I don't think that it's a good... I don't think it's a good appo.
Generally, it's never a good idea to try to use the apothecary on an MNG.
Definitely appo. Just an MNG, I did not like it.
Sometimes it's even better to just save the apothecary for a power apple, right?
Yeah.
Because you can... The power apple is a surefire way to keep a player on the pitch on the last turn where it might get back again.
More Norse might die along the way with that app. I fully support it. It's a good take. It's the real take. I think that this Ulf could have hit this against the guard. Would have been better. Would have protected the guard a little bit better as well by doing so.
Yeah, okay. But you just mentioned earlier that the North want to get the player advantage, and so hitting a player where you can more safely break armor in the zombie.
It doesn't get you a player advantage if your AV6 guard gets punched. I thought the same thing when I saw it live, Sinewave, but I actually think getting the ball in that position was really good. I do think there should have been a pile on, though. That's what I think. I think there should have been a pile on this. Ooh, AV7? Ooh. Bump, bump. That was sad.
Hey.
Mighty Blow did a good job there.
It was always good. Always solid. Except when it didn't work.
This is setting up for Surf on the next turn.
Good, we like that.
And this means that Cheney should be in danger of getting surfed. But this stuff is all coming over here to make that not reality.
And you don't have Berserker free to easily make that surf. One Ulf is on the complete other side, and the other one is based against the sideline.
There was
So,
also, I
realizing
felt
the
like
Berserker was
a lot of unnecessary basing from Poikis this game. And we've got a Yeti in a weird spot now. It tried to follow a wolf that just dodged off on a 1 in 9, left you on a rookie zombie.
Yeah, I think so.
That's better. That's gonna get surfed though. That's an issue. I think that left a surf on a kicker. I don't think this blitz was right. I don't think this blitz was right. I know you want to reposition the Yeti. I think that you just had to walk the Yeti rather than go after this Flesh Golem. Flesh Golem gets taken down by...
Look at this.
No Mighty Blow, no nothing. Gets regen.
Alright. Hey, even if it loses 1 point in agility, well, who cares? You still keep this player around.
I think that was also a mistake. I think hitting the zombie with the palm is just better. Unless you're piling on here. And, you know, I get proven wrong right there. But I thought I would have hit the zombie with the palmer assist. And then hit the werewolf with the other. And this is a 2 plus it fails. I don't think I would have re-rolled it.
Right. Oh.
So down to 1 reroll. You really got to be greedy with this reroll. You got to use it for something really important.
It's still six turns.
And
5 turns.
Necro are doing the thing where, yeah, you've removed my players, but I have regen. And they're setting up to remove all the... They removed a dirty player. That's great. Now they need to foul this. Get rid of this other Palmer, and their game is so much easier.
Yeah, they're trying to exactly do that.
Yep. And they also have bait. They have a bait, so they're really able to get ahead. And this could give them a zombie. So I think that was a really good...
Chaos fine. Chaos fine, get the player off for the drive.
Oh, yeah, that's more than they want. I do think Cheney should have taken the surf. Cheney would have gotten surf, but, like... Cheney has regen. You have a babe. I think I would have taken it. I'm not sure if it's the right play, but I would have taken it.
It's only a 1 die.
No,
right?
it's not. Oh, wait. You're right, guard.
Because this is his guard and your Flesh Golem doesn't have any guards. So it's a 1 die.
Yeah, that's right. That's
to
right.
take it. That's why he probably didn't do it.
That is a true fact. This should be a surf.
Well, there's... Oh, God, no.
I don't think
And
that
the
should have been a
loader
reroll.
reroll
I don't think
succeed.
that should have done anything yet. I don't think this is right at all.
No, get it on the sideline.
You have Stanford. Go on the sideline.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been a 2 die. Could have been a 2 die. Because you just needed the assist to counteract the guard.
Yeah.
That was not a possibility. Is there jugs on this team? Am I stupid? Yeah, there's jugs on this team. You actually couldn't have moved the Flesh Golem here safely last turn. Because there was still jugs on the field. And jump up. So that was a possibility of getting a Flesh Golem surf and a Cheney surf. That was the situation. So I don't think that was a mistake. I think that was a change. Regen is good. Both teams just beating the daylights out of each other. 4 down here, 4 down,
both teams are
5
kind
down
of
here.
designed to do just that.
This hit's
With
good.
another.
I like that.
Yeah, Jax was on the Zerker.
I don't mind that. I think that's good. That also gets a hit there.
True. Sidewave, you have a point.
Yes, but the flesh golem was already based sine wave. So this was already a cube before the other thing happened. Like the flesh golem didn't activate and Cheney didn't activate on that turn. But you are correct. If like the turn before then it was taken into consideration, it could have been different.
Wait.
And
Is this good? Oh. Chugging it away.
getting that to the zombie seems like really strange as a decision, but I think it's more to prevent the one of these players from being given the ball and running it in. I think it's less about scoring on the zombie, more just getting the ball away.
Yep. Just punting it away was the
Now, I
general
do
idea
think
there,
a
yeah.
scoring threat should be getting considered. And that's unfortunate, but that's what happens when you use all your rerolls on your Yeti.
So how many players do we have on the field that can actually still kill? It's the two Wolves with Mighty Blow, the Yeti with Mighty Blow. So for the time being, Norris has still the better kill pressure. Disturbing Presence.
Disturbing Presence? Yeah, I forgot about Disturbing Presence myself. Disturbing Presence is so easy to forget about on the Yeti.
Yep. I mean,
here,
who looks
though,
at this?
here,
Who looks at this giant
First
red
thing you
square?
need to do before throwing blocks on your Yeti, Poikus, you need to get a scoring threat. You need to get a scoring threat.
He has a scoring
My
threat.
brother in Nuffle, you need to get a scoring threat.
He had a scoring threat. He just moved it away.
That doesn't count as a scoring threat. I mean, this is technically a scoring threat. Double GFI.
Oh, you don't like the Wolf as a scoring threat?
It's
I mean, if
edgy
you're
too.
desperate.
It's edgy too.
Yeah, hey, I'm Camry. I only have edgy too. Do you
I think this
you want to
should have
say
done
that I don't have a scoring
well.
threat?
This should have been the ball carrier. You send him to go get the ball before it's yanked by Cheney. And I don't like this foul.
Instead you just
I
say,
don't like
okay,
this foul.
just
If you're
don't care
if you're
about.
gonna foul, like I did not like this turn from Boykins.
He just didn't care about the ball anymore.
Okay, and now
Right.
you go for the score attempt. That's what you do. You don't blitz with the Yeti. You can blitz with the
Wait.
Ulf, but you want to go for the score. I do not like this foul. That's good. Hitting zombie good. I think that if you're going to foul this turn, it should be the ghoul. Like, I think your players were in range, I think. Maybe not. But that was unfortunate. But I think the score attempt should have came earlier before throwing more dice. Or at least the pass. Maybe not the GFIs, but I don't know. I just
But
value
he
the score
was-
so much.
He was out of Rebbl, so every GFI that might be going wrong, you can also throw the ball.
Two pluses in a row is a 70% chance to succeed. Three
don't-
is like
don't give me
a
that shit.
65, 60. But it's still like he was more likely to score there than not.
Don't give me this calculating stuff. I only play out of my stomach, as you've seen. And I most of the time really do.
I think
Which is
I don't
bad,
think the runner
obviously.
should be this far back. I think the runner should be up far enough that they can run back to the ball. Like, it doesn't have to be all the way to where end zone is at its max range, but like a couple squares forward, and he would have been able to reach this ball and prevent this problem of the ball being too far forwards.
You think he didn't check if the opponent has split kick?
Maybe?
Might have been an issue here.
Maybe just forgot that the runner was so far back?
Oh no, he placed him there. Just
I don't
before...
know.
I think this was the last thing he did. Or one of the last things he did. Getting the runner in the back.
Right here, that's like double GFI range, I think. Yeah. Which, 1 square forwards, and you usually solve this problem. 2 square forwards, you definitely do. I just don't think there's a reason for your runner to be this far back. I don't think there's any advantage over it being here than 2 squares forwards.
Oh, and I don't think... well... You have to get to the ball somehow, so they can do GFIs here. Ooh,
And
fireball.
this is the main reason it's an issue, because you're against a wizard. And you make a full cage against a wizard, you're gonna get fireballed. And this is where the game gets really scary for Poikuz. Somehow manages to pull out a draw. While down both berserkers against a Cheney. Like it's actually somehow, like, I don't know how neither team got a touchdown. It was actually just like a good bit of luck on both of their parts. That's good.
And you wrestled him down.
Werewolf comes. I try to pick up the ball here with the werewolf, I think.
Oh, I tried to pick up the ball with a ghoul before.
Yeah. That
I
foul's
think
a
that
good
would have been better. And a handoff out of a tackle zone is fine, right? I mean, only if you hand off into a tackle zone, then it gets harder because the catch gets harder.
Yep.
But the handoff in and of itself doesn't get harder.
Exactly.
So an option could have been moving the werewolf first,
Getting
get
the
behind
ghoul
the
there and
ball,
doing the
and then
handoff
get
to...
the ghoul.
Ooh, yeah, that's sneaky.
Yeah, right.
I like that. You had to think the turnout a little bit like that.
Yeah. The thing is, I probably would have never thought about that when I played this game. But only because I've seen this and could have watched it from the outside, I guess. That's why I see that. But when I played this game, I think never would have seen that play. So very hard to see, I guess.
I forget what happens after this point, but... Oh, I remember that now. Use a stand firm. I like that. I don't know why exactly Roots chose that to do that. I guess either stand firms takes another hit from the ghoul, or the ghoul's free to go and pick up the ball, or at least go base it.
Yeah, but then you should have pushed the ghoul one more square
Yeah.
instead of going
I don't
trying
like this
to push
blitz
the stand
very
firm.
much.
I mean, he just before saw that stand firm can just stop something like this, so goes for it.
Yeah. My main thing is that could have attempted to change this into a 3-die blitz here, and then it's fine. You need to make one more assist. Yeah, there was just a lot about it I didn't like.
Nah,
Because
but then
what you
have
could have
to
done,
throw
what you
it
could have done, stand up, pick up the ball, go here. That's 3-die blitz. Now here, you should not still be standing here. Like you're gonna get all your assists countered by one player. He should at least move over to this side or something. I just felt like this one block stand firm piece did too much work here.
Yeah, but like this with the zombie here, we deny ourselves possible assist, which I don't like. Two from the necro.
And this is a good job at making everything awkward up on the ball.
Ah, no tackle. Tackle is a good skill,
Yep. Get
but
blodged.
only once.
You get blodge tackle on the ball, I think. Force that, like, make it really awkward, I think.
Yeah, just force the blitz. Then the Norse have to force a blitz to the back, and can't open up the whole front
Now,
because they have to get away Cheney.
before this next bit, what is the right play here? 1 second.
Yeah.
The next hit is obviously you hit with the Yeti, right? Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here. It's all good. I was just thinking.
Okay.
I was just thinking, not talking.
Sine wave.
Yeah, that's what you should do. That's totally correct. We should all listen to what Sine Wave says.
Well, here's my proposal. I think at this point in the turn, you take the hit with the Yeti on the Flesh Golem to potentially free up multiple players, who can then remove this white out of the way, and you can take a 2+ dodge towards the opposing end zone.
The only problem is that the Flesh Golem has stand firm and one move.
Yes, but wait until you see the bigger issue with what occurs right here. First of all, we take a 1 die immediately. Then we take a 2 die here that could have pushed it right onto the ball. Then we take another 2 die here. And now what's the turn? We blitz with the Yeti.
Okay. And yet dodging away from Cheney. Oh,
I
okay, we
think,
don't.
you know, the Yeti should have gone first because it's got the strength to do this, and it doesn't eat your blitz ever if it fails. And then you can do these hits. And then you still have your blitz. Like, I did not like this block ordering.
Yeah, and if you use the Yeti first, like you get this frenzy stuff and thing, and even if you can't push the Flesh Golem, you still have after this a 2 die on the zombie and can dodge through. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also,
Oh,
the Yeti
that's-
was in a position where if you don't stand firm, the Flesh Golem's not in a good spot.
Yeah. God, it helps so much talking about stuff like this.
Ball goes down. This was a good frenzy hit. Ball in hard to reach space. More bounces.
Red die.
And now that blocks
pushes.
the way through, which is unfortunate. Don't get the knockdown on the half die. Ghoul does pick up the ball, though, and attempts to run away. I think this is the right play. Ghoul needs to run back. You can't go forward, you had to go back. So that's good. I like that.
Was forward. Oh yeah, because the one.
Yeah, because we're watching from the north
Berserkers-
side. We're watching
What
from the
was
north
it?
side.
Yep, one of the Norse is still in the back. He can't get through this. Yeah, right.
I think right here,
Are you even
this was a
Norse?
mistake. This should have been the 2 die. This Ulf should have blitzed here. This was a mistake. Because that was an assist for this player who is stuck right now. This player's not doing anything.
That's a dodge, but not reliably.
Okay. It's decent. Now the Yeti decides to cooperate. No, wait, what? That wasn't even the Yeti hit? Why are you... Oh, why is it not a Yeti
Doing
hit?
every other hit first, and
Why
again
are we not the other
it's
flesh?
with
The
the
other
Yeti.
flesh golem doesn't have the ball. Okay. I'll be
Howling?
done with this here in a minute.
So
But
the foul was good. The foul was fine, I think.
yeah, I think the foul was fine. I don't think
Well, it was a
leaving
good
all
end.
the players based on both flesh golems was. I don't think this Yeti blitz was right. I think the Yeti had a hit right here. And if that flesh golem goes down on 4 dice, you get this hit for free and you still have your blitz for the ball. You get the ball down and you score and you win the game.
Yeah. Do we pass? Oh, we pass. So
I don't think
is
the pass was
even-
wrong. I think the pass is fine with the reroll, 75%. I think
Yeah,
not
but-
catching it, that's rough. But if that was caught, I think the game is basically over. Because it's very hard to stop the Necro at this point.
Yeah, sorry. No, I think even if the pass succeeds, there are players around that can still reach it. So, yeah.
I think this
decision
was
to
right.
make.
I think this was correct. I did not like this pass. But
Well, I mean, that's why you said that Wolves are not a scoring
I
threat.
think the pass could have been fine if the other hit was taken and a blitz was taken. I think the pickup was good. I liked that. I think other things had to happen, though, to make a more reliable scoring threat. But likewise, if that was caught, the game was basically over for the other direction.
It's just such a scrap, and we don't know. I mean, you watched the game, right?
Yes.
Or at least it
I watched the whole game.
like. So then you know at which time in the turns those moves happen, and if this is like maybe a last ditch, you thought everything through, and then you felt like, damn, I only
I
have 1 minute left.
experienced
and have
all
to
my
go.
confusion live, don't worry.
Then I think
Watching it back, my opinions have not changed. I'm still confused. I still agree with. I disagree with a
Wait,
lot of
just don't
Poiku's decisions
understand.
in the second half. I think that Poiku's doesn't quite know what to do when too close to even or behind on removals with Norse, which is fair. It's a hard thing to do. But at the same time, I think it's just forgetting certain Blood Bowl fundamentals during the game. Which, you know, if you've ever had like a really hard game, you get tired towards the end. I know I do. I think this game was almost 2 hours long. So it was a long game. So there is that to consider.
if you have to think hard about every turn, then yeah, it gets very, very tiring. And I just can't understand people that are playing 5 to 8 CCL matches in a row.
Oh, I have
I-
very little Blood Bowl stamina. I can do like 3 CCL games on a good day. The average amount of CCL tolerance I have is 1.5.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I can't do that.
No, I'm actually thinking about joining the Mongoose Nation CCL Challenge this season, where you play Pro Elves. And every time I lose a game, I play a level of a rhythm game until I beat it or I improve it. Like what I did before. Which, that's really interesting because I have no rhythm and I suck at rhythm games. And I'm not sure if I'm willing to subject myself to that torture yet. And the fact that was my idea really scares me.
You know what the real problem is? You torture yourself twice in a row. First with the CCL games, and after that with the rhythm game.
Well, yeah, but the CCL games, like, I would need something to make it interesting for me. Like, oh, look, I now have a reason to win. And also, I would be playing Pro Elves, which are a fun team for me.
Oh yeah, they are. They are, totally they are.
Yeah, and this is how the game got tied.
They're G5, no.
I really think the main problem Poikus has is he really relies on the Yeti, but hits the wrong targets, and then doesn't leave the Yeti in a position. Because you don't rely on the wild animal blitz more than you need to. So you blitz something, kill it, and then base something else, kill that without blitzing, and then blitz when it's no longer on something, if you can afford to do so. Like,
Yep.
I have a Minotaur, I know what I'm talking about. To be fair, my Minotaur has tentacles, so it's a little easier to do that. Yeti is basically just your only source of claw on the team. But if you're going to have a source of claw on the team, claw mighty blow the AV9 instead of AV8s and AV7s.
Oh, the thing is with the Yeti, it also has the disturbing presence, right?
Oh yeah.
So keeping the Yeti in the right spots is important. Don't let itself be pushed to the sideline
The
by taking
Norse
blocks you
have
don't need
enough
to.
frenzy that they can leave their frenzy big guy in the middle.
Right.
Oftentimes on my Chaos team, sometimes you gotta use the frenzy to get a nice chain push on something opportune, or go for a surf on something crazy big. But I think keeping the Yeti a little more central would really benefit Poiku's, and then committing it when it's good to commit it, not because it's already there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
this
I
was just one
must
of those
have-
weird matches where I felt like... And look at this. 87 blocks.
Oh god, no.
I think that if some of these were palm tackle instead of the Yeti, and you kept the Berserkers a little more safe by removing more players, it would have been an easy win for the Norse.
And removing, how do you remove more players? If you use the palm circus instead of the Yeti, right?
Yeah.
So both things go hand
Or
in
like
hand.
get the Yeti, use the Yeti as you did at the start, but then keep it on the flesh golems, and don't have 3 linemen and a Yeti based on a flesh golem.
Yeah.
I think it was just minor, like pretty drastic impact from minor positioning mistakes. But I think that will end
yeah.
it for me. I'm going to see if there's anybody I can rate. I'm going to stop streaming to you so you don't go through all the spasms for me. Because I constantly am tabbing. I'm sure you saw. I tried to do it less for you, but I'm constantly tabbing because I only have one screen.
Oh no, that's fine. Oh, that's fine.
wait.
bother
What did
me.
we learn? Did we learn, Poigus? Okay. Not Poigus. I am
What
so
did we
sorry.
learn?
Your sine wave. I did not mean to say Poigus. I was thinking Poigus. Is there anyone I would like to raid? Rick Reckless is streaming. We'll raid Rick Reckless, and then I will go to the store with my wife and my brother, and it'll be fun. And
Yeah, shopping is always fun.
oh yeah, we're just going to get some groceries. My brother's over for a week and a half-ish.
Why do you go get groceries if you have HelloFresh? Everything
Because
gets delivered right
I
to
don't
your door.
get enough groceries. I haven't been home in 2 weeks. We don't have any groceries on top of the HelloFresh, and I can't put HelloFresh in my coffee.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah.
thank you all. A lot of fun. Sinewave, I hope you have a great time with your wife as well, of 15 years that you've been living with for the past 8, who is totally real, as you've expressed to me. And y'all have fun and watch some Rick Reckless.
You can't say stuff like that. You can't say stuff like that. I'm teaching minors, you can't say stuff